All right, everybody, we are here back again with 30 Minutes with Andy, live with my man Brandon E. Beal. Can everybody on Facebook hear me, number one? Let's make sure we got that squared away first. They're going to have like a 10-second lag. I love it.
Dang.
Bro, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man.
I'm
This is
so
your day, a
I have
big
been
day.
talking about this interview for 2 weeks. I'm coming out of my skin, and I've been so excited because it stretches outside of real estate. It stretches outside of my realm. And you and I met, where Brandon and I met was back in the insurance world when we used to work together. And gosh, that would have been 2000. When did you get in? 18, 17?
Yeah.
So 2017 when we met, we hit it off quick. Man, I'm so excited that you're here. Just real quick, give them 30,000 foot view, who you are, where you came from, back it up to sports, and then fast forward into the insurance world.
Okay, sweet. First of all, thank you, man. Like I was saying a second ago, it's not every day, a huge conglomerate like KW asked me to speak. You know what I mean? So I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly. But a little bit about me. Yeah, I am Brandon Beal. I hail from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a Midwest kid who currently lives out in Southern California. But before that, man, I had really humble beginnings back in, the 314, as we call it, wanting to be a pro athlete and had almost every door slammed in my face on that, the older I got. Went to Northern Illinois University, graduated there in 2010, and had a small stint, I will call it 2 weeks with the Cincinnati Bengals. Was working out with them, tore a ligament in my foot next to your Achilles, called your peroneus, and just like that, my NFL career was over before it ever got started. But while rehabbing back towards Chicago, I fell in love with the physiologic, movements of the body, the human anatomy, how it works, and all in all, it led me down the road to becoming a personal trainer. Um, Fitness has been my passion, always will be. But as some of y'all probably know, your passion doesn't always keep the lights on, pay the bills, and everything like that. So I needed something different. I needed something new, but I knew I didn't want to be in sales, Andy. I knew I didn't want to sell anything anymore. Um, and wouldn't you know it, here I am, right? But yeah, man, it was one of those things where I had literally $200 to my name. I was newly engaged, and I promised this girl's father that I would take care of her for the rest of my life and for the rest of her life. He didn't have to worry about anything anymore. And at that time, I felt like I wasn't living up to that. And I don't believe I found financial services. Being a man of God, and I know you are too, I really believe God was looking down. I got goosebumps. God was looking down on me and he goes, "Here you go, bro." Like that path found me. I didn't go looking for it. And I'm grateful to the Almighty every single day that I have it. Even though there's great days and there's some not so great days, I'm still grateful either way. And that was 2017. And then you and I met. And I'll be honest, I don't like standing next to guys that are taller than me. So I'm glad we're doing this Zoom right now from afar. But my wife and I were literally just talking about you, Andy, and we were saying how it is impossible to not like this man. It's impossible to not love Andy Lee. Anyone who doesn't, you send them my way and we'll have a fist fight because it just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm sure there's plenty of people that might argue with you, but I love you too, bro. Um, so let's get into it. We might run over.
We
I don't
might.
know. But you help people every single day with wealth building for their future.
Mhm.
And you do it through a vehicle we'll talk about in a little bit. But why did you choose, other obviously the monetary side, but why did you choose the insurance world? Why did you choose that path? And what makes you're one of the most passionate people that I know doing what you do, not just in life, but you're passionate about what you're selling and what you're doing for people. What
Mhm.
makes you so passionate about it?
When was the last time you've been to Costco, Walmart, or Target? It's probably recently for a lot of us. Who's the person greeting you? It's usually some cute little old 70, 75-year-old lady with long silver hair, telling you that there's some sale on such and such aisle. And in my mind, it's like this woman should be in Florida, soaking up some sun, living out her best days. And she's not. I watched my own grandmother, who just passed almost 18 months ago, live a similar life where she wasn't able to just retire. And whether it's lack of knowledge, whether lack of education, or just finding someone who can help you. That's why I'm passionate about what we do, because I guess in a way, Andy, it's a little personal. I watched my grandmother do it. My parents, a little bit different story, but I told myself I want to help people, and that's why I got into fitness. But how many people literally live paycheck to paycheck? How many people cannot retire? How many people are literally working until they're 70, 80, and beyond? Unless I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole, but our systems in place and our structures in place don't make it easy for us to do that. So I took it upon myself to, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, Andy, kind of try and change the world, man. The world we live in. We only got one. I might as well try and be the hero out here to try and save it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And full transparency too, brother. People that look like me, people of my descent, people of my background, my color, we need to do a better job of leaving legacies behind as opposed to leaving debt.
Mm.
So that's another reason why it's personal to me.
Yeah.
We again don't want to get too far down a rabbit hole, but we can do it better.
Run down the rabbit hole.
We
We about to
we
bust the
can do
can
it.
open
Yeah,
anyways. Just go ahead and go.
appreciate it. But yeah, we can do a better job of leaving our children and our children's children an inheritance. The Bible says a man leaveth behind an inheritance. I've seen it time and time again. Go on the GoFundMe page right now. Go on Facebook and see how many people are asking for money for burials, for bills that are left behind by a loved one. It's saddening. It's sickening. I'm going to use a bad word. It pisses me off. So I need to take it upon myself to be the one to try and change it.
Yeah.
I want to break generational curses, Andy.
Mm. That's a whole nother biblical subject. Let's go ahead and open up this can of worms.
Okay.
So there's a difference between, you sell all kinds of life insurance. I used to sell all kinds of life insurance with you. You have access to that stuff. That's a subject that we'll leave off to the side. All right?
Mhm.
We'll leave that alone for now. Your specialty and your wheelhouse is a product that's called an indexed universal life product, right?
Yes, sir.
Why is it so important that people not learn about these because listen, I'm gonna get fired up and then I'll let you get fired up. There's a reason that okay, let me start here. I am not a financial advisor. Brandon is also not a financial advisor. What we're going to do is we're going to lead you to a little bit of water. We just know some stuff, okay? And if you haven't heard of this, if the government isn't telling you about it, it's probably a fantastic product.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever they are preaching to you and cramming down your throat is probably a terrible product that's going to benefit them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to give them a 10,000 foot view of an IUL and then you run. So basically what this is in layman's terms, an IUL is a life insurance policy where you pay a premium every month, just like your other life insurance if you have, and if you don't, freaking get it. Where a small portion of your premium keeps the life insurance policy active, And the rest of the money goes, this is why it's called an indexed universal life. The rest of the money is tied to an index, which is tied to the market. Let's say an S&P 500. Am I right here?
Correct.
Okay. Now, this money that goes over here that's tied to the index is compounding interest over and over and over every single day for as long as the policy lives.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, sir.
There is one thing that the federal government cannot tax.
Yep.
What is it, Brandon?
I want you to tell them what it is.
It's freaking life insurance. They cannot tax it. And so the life insurance world figured out this loophole several years ago that you can, with post-tax dollars, fund this account and let it just keep accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. And before somebody on here goes, well, what about if the market does bad? Oh, there's more. If the market tanks, you've got a zero floor. Mm-hmm. So whatever it goes to, if you get your account up to $150,000 and the market tanks, you just stay at $150,000.
Yep.
When the market goes through the roof, your money starts growing again from $150,000. Am I right or am I right?
Dude, you are so right. You make me want to go buy another one.
Now, here's the fun part about it. You take loans from this thing if you want to do something. If you want to buy an investment property, if you want to buy a car, if you want to send your kids to college, you take a loan from yourself and it's a tax-free loan.
Mm-hmm.
Zero taxes. I have one of these for my kids who are 5'2" and 8 months old. Every one of them will be millionaires by the time they turn 50. Every one of them. And it just costs me, it's several $100s a month. But several $100s a month to guarantee my kids are millionaires. No, money isn't everything. Money is the root of all evil. I get it. No, it's not. The love of money is the root of all evil.
Bingo.
It does tell me to financially prepare them for the future.
Mm-hmm.
I have one on myself. I have one on my wife. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I hope I teed this up for everybody on here. Brandon, express to them why it's so important to not only put it in a vehicle that grows, but it's also protected.
Brother, you literally hit the nail on the head. And like I said a second ago, I was joking, but I'm dead serious. Like, you make me want to go and buy another. You got me that fired up. And I've got 4. In my household, we have 4. There's 3 on me and 1 on my wife, Ashley. Okay. And I have a daughter on the way in May. You don't think that paperwork ain't ready to go already?
Dude, I'm so fired up about it. I'm so fired up about you having a kid.
I appreciate that, man. You know the trials and tribulations we've gone through. But yeah, man, I can't wait. It sounds weird, but like I can't wait for her to get here so that I could get that IUL started for her.
Hey, take 2 minutes, and if you don't mind, and I'm blindsiding you with this, take 2 minutes and tell everybody yours and Ashley's story about kids real quick.
Sure. So Ashley and I got married September 2018, and that's the love of my life, man. And I realized with this woman, with this beautiful, smart, just big-hearted woman, I knew I wanted to have a family with her. I'll build a family with her, build an empire with her, and have kids with her. So we started down that journey, Andy, and, we were trying to figure out what was going on. Because now it's middle of 2019, can't really figure out what's going on. So what do? You go and see specialists, you go and see doctors, you go and see OBs, and you try to figure out what's going on. So on paper, everything looks good. Everything's good on my end, everything's good on her end. But we cannot get pregnant, we cannot conceive. So it wasn't until during the pandemic where right before the pandemic, we decided we were going to do IVF, in vitro fertilization, right? That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Because after Ashley taking so much medication, so many shots, so many different pills, it finally worked. And 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're seeing growth. We're excited. 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we're seeing growth. 6 weeks, fetus is growing. 6.5 weeks, we lost our first one.
Mm.
And even still today, that's tough.
Yeah.
Um, Still tough. So being athletes, we mourned, but then we were like, okay, we got to get back up on the horse, try again. We're not quitters. So another round of medications, another round of shots. I mean, this girl is pumping her body full of God knows what every single day, every a specific time, every single day. She never missed. It worked again.
Mm-hmm.
This time there's twins.
Mm.
Weeks 1, 2, and 3, everything looks good. Both look good. We got nervous around week 6, but everything was good. Week 8, we lost the twins.
Mm.
And that put Ashley, rightfully so, in a mind state of, I'm done. I can't keep doing this. And I didn't blame her. And in this point, I am a traditionalist, but I'm also not at the same time. But in this scenario, she was the captain. Okay, she was the one calling the plays. She was the quarterback, and I'm whatever she wanted to do, whatever play she wanted to run. Dang it, that's what we're going to run. And it wasn't until just not even a full year ago, obviously, we conceived again because enough time had passed. I had lost my grandmother. It was a lot going on, Andy, that year. It was 2020 was a crazy year going into 22.
Sure.
Um, and that girl, when I say girl, I mean my grandmother. That girl was my life. I have her name and the year she was born and passed on my board. I do believe, like I believe she's standing right here. Like I believe that, watching me, helping me, guiding me. Um, I also believe she made a deal with the Almighty and says, "Hey, help my grandson out." And I'll try not to cry, but Ashley and I finally conceived again, man. And weeks 1 through 6, we're nervous. Weeks 7 and 8, we're nervous. We got past week 9 and 10. We were like, okay, this actually might go, but there's still some skepticism, maybe even a little bit of cynicism, you know?
Cautious optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So weeks and weeks and weeks kept going by, man. And literally, we were that couple where we were going to get ultrasounds every Tuesday morning just to make sure that the growth was on point, make sure the heartbeat was still flickering, and it was. And as of Tuesday, Ashley is now 30 weeks pregnant with our baby girl. God is good all the time. We don't always know why certain things happen. My grandmother always told me it's not your job to question it, but to just go along with it. And I have a hard time with that. But she's right. She was right. She still is right. So, man, you almost made me tear up, bro. I don't know why you did that.
I'll get you.
Yeah.
Man, I love y'all and I love y'all's story. But I just wanted you to hit on that so people kind of know the passion that is behind all that is Brandon Beal, kind of where that comes from. Because I know you. You know what I mean? I know your heart and I know what you're about and I know what Ashley's about. And so I just wanted to hear that. So thank you for sharing it. But switch back to the fun stuff. So I think it's like you were saying at the beginning, it's that it's just lack of knowledge and lack of information about what's available.
Mm-hmm.
And why is it so important that people reach out to people like you? And the reason that people are so hesitant about it, I believe, is because it's not being shoved down their throat on TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the norm. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not being talked about in all of the financial magazines.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this hidden little gem.
It is.
Yeah. And it's so like, what is it so important that people put them in vehicles that's not only growing, but it's also protected?
Again, hit the nail on the head. Growth and protection. Think about this, man. Let's rewind. I'm going to preface it with this. What happened during the Great Depression? I'll tell you. Boom, economy blows up, right? No one was investing their money in the stock market anymore. So they created this little thing to get people back into the stock market because without it, the US economy is trash. They
Right.
called this little thing a 401k
Mm-hmm.
to get people to get back into the stock market. They've been pushing this product for generations and generations and generations. All the while, there's these little families called, I don't know, Rockefellers,
Little
Disney,
people.
little people. They're not big, they're not massive, they're not wealthy, multi-million billionaires, but they're little people,
Little
right?
Rockefellers.
Yeah, little Rockefellers. They're putting their money inside of life insurance policies while everybody else is putting their money inside of these. I don't want to talk bad about it. Inside of these 401ks and other vehicles out there, right? Fast forward, man, you hit it perfectly. If it's not being pushed down your throat, if it's not on TV, just within the last, I would even wager to say, year, has it really been talked about on social media because of guys like you with the knowledge, because of guys like me with the education, because of other companies that are providing this service. Now people are hearing it, but again, they're skeptical because it hasn't been around for 100 years. It hasn't been around for 50 years, or it has been around, but no one's talking about it. And like you said, if the government isn't talking about it, it's probably a pretty dang good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So why is it important to protect and grow your money? Think about this, man. I have a few banks. Chase is one of them. They're one of the biggest, probably the biggest. I have a savings account with Chase, but I'm only getting 0.0001% of my money. So even if I put, let's just say I dump 100 grand into my Chase account, guess how much it's going to be at 65 when I retire?
Oh, let me throw this at them right quick. Let me throw because I know the answer and I know you know the answer. You ready?
Hit 'em.
I'm teeing this one up. How much money in life insurance does Chase own?
Tell them, Andy.
It's hundreds of billions of dollars.
Hundreds of billions of dollars.
And why would the bank own that much life insurance, Brandon?
These are the questions people aren't asking.
They're not. They don't understand. It's like it's taxes. It's
Yeah.
taxes, taxes, taxes.
I talked to this guy. He's a multi billionaire over, 10 times over. And he said to me, you know what the biggest bill you have is, Brandon? I'm thinking at the time I had like a cool little car. I said, it's probably my car note. He's like, no, that's okay. Next, I would think like if I had a nice house, it'd probably be my house, it'd be my mortgage, right? He goes, no. Insurance? He goes, no. It's taxes.
No
Taxes.
doubt.
Biggest bill you pay. And there's middle class, upper class, rich, wealthy, elite. Rich, wealthy, and elite people want to avoid taxes at all costs. Here's another question we're not asking, Andy. How is it Amazon pays no taxes? Jeff Bezos, Amazon, multi-billionaire, 10 times over, doesn't pay any taxes. They find ways not to pay
It's
tax.
it's philanthropy
hmm
and life insurance.
hmm The elitists dump. Now, I can go on about names of people that play sports, entertainers, movie stars that we know have these policies. But I ask you, when you sign NDAs, you know how it goes.
You're writing them
So,
on them. I've
a
seen
few.
you. I've seen you write them just since you. I mean, just since I left the company. Since I've been in real estate, I've seen you write it on 30, 40 major athletes.
Yeah, there's a few, and now we're getting into entertainment. There's a guy who's a mega rapper. I won't say his name, but it's an opposite of a Skittle. I'll leave it at that.
There you go.
He has one. I think, and one on his daughter as well. So these are questions like that we don't ask, or I didn't ask as a young 30-year-old entrepreneur. Like, how do I save on taxes, man? You dump your money inside life insurance policy. So if you're putting your money in the bank, Andy, going back to what we were talking about before, you're not getting any interest. You're not getting any growth. I could dump 100 grand into my savings in Chase right now, and it'll still be 100 grand in 35 years. You need, like you spoke about earlier, compounding interest growing on top of interest. So yes, your money is safe in the bank. It ain't going anywhere. It ain't. I love it. But guess what? They also ain't giving you no dang interest because they're taking my 100 grand and they're flipping it and putting it in a life insurance policy to make them some more money. And then they loan my money out 10 times over. Again, questions we're not asking, you know, um, and growth over time, buddy. Growth over time. I want my 100 grand today to be 250 in 5 years, to be 500 in 10 years, and have multi millions by the time I'm old and gray. Same I'm going to do for my daughter, same you're doing for your 3 kids. That's why it's important to put your money not only somewhere safe, but put it somewhere where you know you're going to get crazy amount of interest.
And here's, uh, I get asked a lot, what is your, not how do you define success for yourself, but like, what is your goal in life? What do you want to do? And outside of my discipleship and showing people Jesus, one of my things that I want to do through what I do, it's not financial wealth.
Mm-hmm.
It's financial independence.
Mm. Preach.
That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have vehicles set up to where I am my bank.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this is.
Correct.
It's whenever you want to do anything in your life, you're literally, you get to borrow your own money.
Yes.
Right?
Correct. I have a guy right now, Andy. You mentioned rental properties. He has actually posted this to my Instagram a few days back. He's taking out $50,000 tax free out of his own life insurance policy, and he's buying, I think it was 2 properties. He's buying 2 properties with that money in South Florida. Going to renovate them, fix them up, flip them, make more money. Profit he takes from that, buy more property. No taxes,
None.
no penalties, no fees.
My,
You want to go into your 401k and take out 50 grand, Uncle Sam's going to get his cut. Better believe that. Rest assured, Uncle Sam's going to put his hands in your pockets that you worked hard to save and to grow, and he's going to get his cut.
I'm just going to put this out there. I'm just going to put this out there. Linda Lee, who I told you about earlier, just typed in the comments, "Where do I sign up?" She's going to buy it from you just because you're pretty.
Ah,
What I didn't tell him is that Ashley's prettier than you are, and that is saying a whole heap.
I will not say that.
Because you are a beautiful human being.
I appreciate that to the 10th degree. Thank you. And you are too.
Listen, oh, I had a good one. Where did it go? I had something good.
I can tell. It'll come back to you, brother.
I don't know, but maybe it'll come back around. I'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
So let me tell everybody while I'm thinking how to, because I don't hold a license to do it anymore. So when I want this stuff, I come to people like you. So tell them how they can get directly in touch with you should they have questions about this. This is no pressure. This is no gimmick. This wasn't made to be a sales pitch. Nope. This show was created to talk to people who are succeeding in all different aspects of life, from wealth building to coaching to project management to executives all across the world. You just happen to be a wealth builder. So if they want to ask you some more questions, how do they get in touch with you?
Let me I'm gonna answer that, but I'm gonna rewind really quickly here and let y'all know that all me and Andy have done is just talk about all the good, all how awesome it is, how it's almost foolproof, and everybody and their mom and their kid and grandkids should have this. Yes, that is true, but I'm gonna tell you one bad thing, okay? Because I don't want you to walk away here thinking that, again, it was some gimmick, it was some pitch like, oh, it gave me all the good but no bad, all the pros but no cons. There is one con. And I tell this to whether you're a professional athlete, an entertainer, or whether you're middle America, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell them. There is one con. Time. It takes time to grow. Rome was not built in a day. That old cliche. Yeah.
Not
Same
only
with your
does it take time to grow, but the longer that you wait, the less time it has to grow.
corrects, and you cost yourself. You literally just stole the words right out of my mouth.
It's
It takes
time.
to grow, okay? And the longer you wait, you cost yourself hundreds, thousands, and maybe even millions of dollars down the road. Maybe, depending on how much you fund your IUL.
And this
So,
this is for my I will openly say it, okay? This might not be anybody else's opinion on this call. This is Andy Lee's opinion, and this just me. I hate a 401k. Okay? Now, I'm saying it for you so you don't have to, because I'm in real estate. I get to say it. But here's my thing. Do a simple math equation. Everybody's like, but my company's matching me. I'm like, okay, well, let's do math together. Okay?
mhm,
You put in 100,000, Brandon, into your 401k.
okay.
The company matches you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
How much did they put in?
100.
100 grand. How much do you have total?
2.
If you take the money out and it gets taxed at 50%, how much money do you have left?
God, 100.
Huh?
100.
The same amount you started with.
Yep.
So you did nothing more than put your 100 grand into a checking account.
Check this one out, Andy. I have 100 grand. My company matches me 100 grand. We go through another COVID and lose 30%. But my company matches. What good is a match?
Now I'm
If you-
now I'm down to 170 grand. Now what if that gets taxed 50%? Now I've lost money.
Now you've lost money. And what people don't realize is you need to double your interest rate of what you've lost in order to get back to, I call it zero, but in order to get back to where you were.
I'm starting to rock. I'm getting too fired up.
Yeah,
We gotta calm down,
yeah.
or I'm gonna go get my dadgum insurance license again.
But you asked before how people can get a hold of me. My Instagram and my Facebook are the best ways. Yeah, I'm always on my phone. But if you guys want to hit me up on Instagram, it's just my first name Brandon, middle initial E, last name Beal, and it's the same for Facebook as well.
Hey,
Best way to
Daniel,
go.
can you type those in the comment just at Brandon E. Beal or whatever? Daniel's sitting in front of me running the show.
Sweet.
My man, you are my guy. I love you. I appreciate you. Everybody on here, thanks you so much for your time. This is going to be recorded. It'll stay on my Facebook. People follow Brandon. He puts out reels and information about this stuff all the time, as if we didn't just tell you everything you needed to know. He's got
Right.
content constantly on all of his social media outlets. Follow him, reach out to him, ask him questions. Don't come ask me questions about it, because I'm gonna go back to selling, helping people sell real estate. And dude, I love you.
Can I say one more thing, Andy?
Yes.
I put out the information because it needs to be put out there. My whole objective isn't to make money or make sales. It is to provide information and education and to give value. I am so passionate about this. I don't care if you buy it from me or if Andy gets his license and you buy it from him. All I care about is that you have this, you break your generational curses, and you have money to live on when you're old and gray. That's all I care about.
What's your plan when you get old? Is it to have, here's what people do. I don't care if we go over. Here's what people do. Here's the mindset. I told you I got fired up. Here's the mindset. It's work, 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 retire.
Mhm.
And you retire, statistically, you've got less than 15 years left.
Mhm.
And it's to live on less than what you worked for. So you work 55, 60 years to make it, and then you get 15 to live off less than you earned.
Yep.
And the mindset is just to make it until you die.
Yep. That is the mindset. But dude,
My goal, without a doubt, when I decide to hang up whatever I'm hanging up, I'm going to be in a higher tax bracket than I am now at the age of 40. People are like, I don't want to pay Uncle Sam $250,000 a year. I don't care. I got vehicles. We got vehicles. We got life insurance vehicles. We got IULs. I can give some of it away. But everybody has this mindset of when I retire, I have to live in a lower means than I did the previous 50 years. My mindset, and I know your mindset, is I'm only 40.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going north until I die.
There you go.
Right?
I'm on some.
We
Yep.
just have to be taught these things and acquire the information to learn the vehicles of how to do it. And it's things like what you sell.
And you know what
And
else
it's
it is?
things like what I sell.
It's not just hearing the information, but it's actually being receptive of it. Like information can and will change your life, but only if you allow it. If you go in with this preconceived notion of, yeah, I don't know, yeah, I'll get into it when I get into it, that's on you. You know, like please do the homework, do the research. But like we said a minute ago, the longer you wait, it is going to cost you even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So be receptive of the information. Don't discard it.
Yeah. Bro, I love you.
I love you too, bro.
And I appreciate you. Anything you need from me?
Yeah. Well, no, it's me to you. Just again, thank you, bro. Anyone who doesn't follow you, anyone who doesn't listen to you, anyone who's not in love with you the way me and my wife are, I feel sorry for them because you are truly an awesome human being. From the very first day you picked me up on that huge party bus until today, you've been nothing. You remember that, don't you? Yeah, this huge Mercedes. I don't know what the heck it's called. Party bus, I call it. You know, from day one, man, you've been nothing but kind, loving. You know, you steered me in the right direction of proper, good, wholesome people. You know what I mean? That's just who you are as a man, and it's no surprise to me why you are where you are now. And I just can't wait to see you at the very tippy top, man. I really do.
I'm chasing you, brother.
That goes both ways. I'm chasing you.
You got my number, man. Anything you need from me, you reach out. Everybody else, thank you so much for being on the show. Stay tuned for one more minute and see who's coming up next week. It's another big one. Brandon, I love you. We'll talk
Love
to you
you too.
next time. See you guys.
All right, buddy.